doing this 3 times. I've done a variation of this with a dip belt in the past, but with a dip belt the weight goes straight up and down. Here the weight kind of goes down, and like you'll So today I'm at a different gym. My friend wanted to check out a gym that had recently opened. So we go to Good Life Fitness, and a new location opened where they essentially converted a grocery store into a gym. And so it's like this big open space with exercise equipment distributed around. And the aesthetic is actually quite cool. Yeah, they have a pretty big sled area. It's a lot longer than the ones at the gym that I go to. In any case, today I'm going to do a lot of sled work and probably superset that with some kettlebell stuff. They also have certain machines that I don't have at my other gym, so probably going to try some of that out and incorporate that into the workout. In any case, starting off with reverse sled. Probably going to do quite a bit of sled at the beginning of the workout. Um, but I think for the next thing, in any case, reverse sled really for the quads, specifically a part of the quad called the VMO. And by the end of just walking backward, they end up burning a lot, especially given sufficient load and distance. Right now, I have the is a lot longer and the weight's pretty heavy too. Supersetting that with a kettlebell flowy complex. So flip into a squat thruster to windmill and repeat. Doing this 3 times on each side. So yeah, doing this for 5 sets and on to the next thing. For the next set of things, doing a sled and a kettlebell thing again. So this time I'm going to do single arm rows, one way, and then forward sled drag back. So doing the row, I'm sitting back and exploding, and I'm rotating my arms outwards so they start out and then rotate in. Squat, my palms face away from the body, and then as I get up, they go into the body and the back rows at the same time. Making it an explosive movement. The increased distance definitely working these sets a lot harder. Then, after I reach reattaching the ring to the front of the sled, and then I'm going to hold the sled behind me, tiptoe. The act of tiptoeing forces the muscles of the toes to get activated and also recruits the calves. And for the final movement, it's something that I've been doing more frequently as of late. So, staggered swing to high pull, to snatch, and repeat for 3 times on each side using 25-pound kettlebell. Between the kettlebell movement and the sled movement, pretty much every muscle in the body is involved, and there's an explosive component to all of it too, which makes the heart rate go so much higher. So yeah, doing this for 4 sets, then on to the next thing. So earlier I was talking about wanting to do or try out a machine that they had. That machine is this one. It's a belt squat machine. I've seen a lot of like NFL players, powerlifters, and bodybuilders talk highly of the belt squat machine. And so, I don't know, I wanted to try it out. It's a machine that I've never tried out in my life. But this is already after 3 sets. So far, it feels pretty good on the quads, but I'll show you what a set looks like. The angle that the camera is in is kind of weird, but there's no other good angle really to get this from. So, I've done a variation of this with a dip belt in the past, but with a dip belt, the weight goes straight up and down. Here, the weight kind of goes down in like this angle, which helps get more out of the legs. Like I have to kind of push up and back, if that makes sense, versus straight up and down. Going for 10. Not supersetting this with anything, just going for good quality reps. So yeah, first time using a belt squat machine, feels pretty nice. Might push the weight for the next set, not by much, maybe like 25 pounds on each side. But yeah, I'm gonna do this for a bit, then on to the next. I decided to move into some mobility. So starting off with some posterior chain mobility. So going to do a superset targeting that for the first part of the superset, doing cable good mornings, which is my most favorite mobility exercise. So keeping my legs wide apart till I feel a stretch in my groin area, and then let the cable pull me forward till I hit a threshold. As I'm getting pulled forward, I like to play around with my palm position, so I'll rotate it in and out because that changes the angle at which the lats are, which allow you to sink a little lower sometimes, and also allows you to experience the stretch slightly differently throughout the posterior chain. Doing this for 8 reps. Oh. Oh. I think I have to move a little further back. Supersetting this with Jefferson curls. So using these steps on the squat rack, and I have a 40-pound kettlebell. So I'm going to pretty much let myself come forward, round the back, and let my hands sink as low as they can. And then come up. Feeling a big stretch in the entire back and hamstring. And I'm playing around with how I hold the kettlebell, similar to the previous thing where I said rotating your palms and stuff changes the way the lats stretch. So just playing around with that to see how my back and posterior chain feels. Oh. Oh. Going for 8 of this as well. Oh. So yeah, this is what I'm doing for mobility to start. 3 sets of this, then on to the next thing. For the next bit of things, so working on the hip flexors. So previously I was doing the posterior chain, and so now I want to move into I guess the front, the anterior. This is tangled up. So this first exercise might not be accurate to classify it as a mobility exercise, but I don't think it's inaccurate either. So this helps with strengthening the hip flexors. I have the cable attached to my feet, and I'm going to bring it up for 10. So also one of the things that I'm doing is like not keeping my knee bent and letting uh, my legs straighten out as much as possible. And also at the end, I'm like kind of contracting my glutes, which pushes my, I guess, waist or hip section up, which exaggerates the stretch in the hip flexor a little. After 10 of that, with the 25-pound kettlebell, going to do ATG split squats, but going to add a tactical clean in the middle of it as a transition to be able to do it in an alternating fashion. So, tactical clean, ATG split squat, tactical clean to switch, ATG split squat. So from the side. So, I don't know, usually ATG split squats can get a little boring and monotonous. By adding like this tactical clean component to it, it makes the movement a little bit more dynamic and full body. Going for 5 each side. So yeah, doing this for 3 sets to hit the hips. Probably going to do at least one or two more things after this. Moving into some upper body mobility. So doing wire raises. So having my chest supported and staying on my toes to kind of keep me in that position. I'm then going to bring the dumbbells up in a Y form, targeting a set of muscles in the mid back called the trap 3. It's a muscle that's goes very undertrained and usually ends up showing itself, or that weakness ends up showing itself in the form of like lower back pain or lack of shoulder mobility. And my trap 3s aren't that strong either. I'm using 7.5 dumbbells, 7.5 pound dumbbells. But doing some work for it, however light it might be, is better than no work. And they'll eventually get stronger as well. Did 12 reps of that. Then supersetting that with kettlebell halos, alternating for 10 on each side. So yeah, I'm doing this for 3 sets for upper body mobility. And this might be it for the video. Uh, Probably gonna sit in the sauna. And this location doesn't have a swimming pool, but there's a location of the same gym chain about 5 minutes away that does have a swimming pool and a cold plunge. And my friend kind of floated the idea that we could go there after this, so we might do that, or we might just end up going to the sauna over here and calling it a day. But yeah, I believe this is it for today's video and workout. See you all tomorrow.